Hello and welcome, fellow travelers. My name is Pawkets, and I am joining Chibi and Vertec at the Golden Feather Tavern. Come on in, grab a seat, and let's share tales of adventure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Golden Feather Tavern, where your hosts, Chibi and Vertec, discuss Ashes of Creation and important topics spoken about within the Ashes community. Every week we invite you, the viewers, and a special guest to pull up a chair, grab a pint, and join the conversation with us. Today is the 28th of June, 2024, and we are on episode 213 with a suspicious pocket. And speaking of which, we have our traveling... Wait, what were you today? Yeah, traveling...
Templar.
There was the traveling Templar today. We're missing a bard for the day, but you know, Templars are just fine too. Templars are people too. That's fine. They can hang out here and entertain the crowd.
Did I miss an inside joke somewhere on that?
So I will not play a bard in an AOC.
Okay.
And so I asked for that, and now ever since then I've actually been looking to go into tank, but I don't know which tank archetype. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you remembered.
Yeah. Hey. Every once in a while I do that thing, just not every time.
Oh, yeah. My name's Phoenix Fire on the stream.
Yeah.
Is it? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I knew there was gonna be something else I forgot. All right. Well, you tell us how you doing today. How are you doing today? And I'll get your name fixed.
I'm doing great. I'm a teacher, so I've been on summer break all summer long, just playing video games. Would have loved to have Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 out, but you know, it is what it is. So is this like my introduction of who I am, or just how I'm doing?
Just how
you doing?
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to bring myself closer because Vertec has me so tiny.
Okay. So yeah, Chibi, what do we have on tap today?
Asking me all the hard questions. Rude. I'm in the middle of adjusting my camera. Well, I guess for today we're having a messed up stream. Scuffy stream. Scuff stream. So, I guess I can sit up taller now. So we're going to talk about some PvP stuff, and I was going to say game design, but you are tiny. Yeah, but I look especially tiny. I look like I'm so far behind. Like I'm way off in the background. But I was going to talk about game design in general, but after reviewing the topics a little bit more, it seems like it'd be better just to talk about vassals, because I think that would be a better thing to go a little bit in depth in. And then of course Pawkets is over here starting fires with bunny hopping. So
it's good conversation.
It's all right. I like to extinguish fires or make them burn brighter. I don't know. It depends on the day.
Right. But aside from that, our most important topic is our Tempblard, I guess. Did you? The
Temblard. Yeah.
Tempblard. Yeah.
The Temblard.
So yeah, our Tempblard. Tell us about yourself. You are in Suspect. How did you find Suspect?
I found Suspect on Vladis's 1v1, where the 1v3 that they had. I was planning on kind of making my own mercenary guild. I wanted to live the mercenary life, and I knew that it would be a big bite to take off, because I knew that I would need to set up ways to be able to find contracts and stuff like that. And then hearing them discuss it, I actually liked it a lot more. And so I heard them, they seemed to have everything that I was looking for, and so that's what I joined Suspect for. And I've been with them for probably about 6 months now.
Yeah.
So looking to get into Alpha 2 with them.
Yeah, I really like, by the way, shout out to Vladis, because we had Vladis on back when he was first starting, and a lot of the content creators, we try to get them on when they're first starting, and I really like the way that he does his interviews and his podcast in general, even though a bunch of us do podcasts, we all do it very differently. And I just really like that because he has a way of getting into like the people themselves, whereas we talk more about community topics. So I really like that. So with the Mercenary Guild, there is actually a topic that I think you're going to like to talk about, because it has to do with, you know, mercenary guilds and corruption and things like that. But why mercenary of all loops to play in?
I like to make money. And I like to PvP, and I know other people are not fans of PvP. And so I kind of want to find that happy medium of that.
Okay. Also, welcome in Rage and Hidden Dagger.
Yeah, happy mediums are important.
Hope you're being cozies. But yeah, no, I agree. And I was gonna say, if you're looking to make money, why not, you know, do like econ stuff? But that makes sense. PvP being a forefront.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so with the ongoing, I guess this is a little bit of a hot topic. With the ongoing conversation of AshesofCreation feels PvP heavy. Ashes is going to be a PvP game. How do you feel about those like conversations? Do you actually feel like it's more balanced than people think and we're just forgetting about the PvE stuff, or are you thinking that it's going to be a little bit more of a lean?
My biggest thing on this is I think that people haven't even got into it yet, and I believe that this is a balance issue. And this actually okay, are you already onto the green ganking part? Is that
Nope.
No. Okay, this is actually my answer later, so you're gonna hear my answer ahead of time. But
well, no, we can wait. We can
okay,
wait.
Okay, let's wait out.
Yeah. We'll hear that more later.
All right. I was about to repeat myself, but
that's more about like the PvP corruption system. That's not what I'm asking. I'm more asking about like your view on the balance of stuff.
Okay.
For PvP.
Then in the same case, I need to see it first. And we don't actually know. And I don't think that even Ashes knows. And so they need to get us in there to see how we break the system and make sure that they can, like, because they have a plan, they have an idea. However, once you get the players into the game, you have no idea what's going to happen.
And like you could plan all you want, and as soon as people get in, all hell could break loose.
Nope. You see, I just went out last week and I bought a Ouija board, and I know it has predicted.
Oh, yeah? What do you know?
It knows. It has told me.
Okay.
So when's Alpha 2, Vertex?
I can't share that secret.
Oh,
it's,
okay.
It's a non Ouija agreement.
Okay,
I don't even know. I didn't have time to drop the paperwork yet.
NWA.
Yeah.
So I just put out your socials. What do you do for content?
So I'm a teacher, I'm a prop maker, and I'm a gamer. And all three of these things kind of intermingle and intertwine. I love to make things for video games. Video games are my passion. And that actually is what inspires my teaching, and that's what inspires my prop making. Nice. And I use gaming for my motivation for those things. By the way, I know Chibi's probably gonna hate this because she has things by the book. But I have like a little bit of a thing that I've been working on for a while now.
Okay.
That.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's fantastic.
I've actually made both of you guys.
That is so.
These handy dandy little wearable masks. And I have been working on these things for probably about a month and a half at this point. I've been so ready. These are my secret projects I've been working on that I could not tell anybody about.
Okay.
I was gonna ask. I was like, I haven't seen any of your stuff I want to see, and you're like, I'm working on some secret stuff. I was like,
We're
I
not
bet it's
secret
like a
things.
really cool sword or something.
And redeeming this hydrate. One
Oh
last
my
thing.
gosh. I love that. That's awesome. Oh my god.
Amazing.
That's so cool.
Amazing.
I've been waiting so long. I've had like 3 people I've been telling this to, and I've been like trying to hold it in. Been so excited. Yes, I made you guys props specifically for this this little time here that we have. So
That's
That
so
is
cool.
fantastic.
yes.
Yet another
so-
reason to love Pockets. If
Yeah,
we needed
yeah.
another.
And so many people have been asking me for a Vec mask, and I'm like, I have one, but I can't tell you
I
about
have one.
it. Or maybe it's ring kind. Maybe Hidden Dagger Inn's looking for the ring kind. But oh, I know who you are. Okay. I noticed that I have a couple of my students that are in the chat. So hello.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
My-
Well, welcome in. Fatal arrow, right? Yeah, fatal arrow. I get it.
I like it. I was gonna say welcome in, by the way. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the tavern.
He's actually really interested in Ash's stuff. Like he was
Oh,
the one I
very
had
cool.
like a very long discussion with, and also I have
Awesome.
Raven Rune here as well. She
Hello.
supports me a lot, so she's
in, Raven.
this is actually the student that made my avatar or profile.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you'd mentioned that at one point.
yes,
awesome.
this is the wonderful student. So
Love
Well, it's
it.
good stuff. Good work. Good work.
Yes.
So I the gaming part, I've actually wasn't planning on being a streamer. I never really wanted to do that. But when Alpha 2 was said that they would be out of NDA and you could stream it, I'm like, I'm going to start to stream. And so I do gameplay content right now, and I would need to get better at uploading my, crafting stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
But right now, it's mostly just gameplay. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing that for Alpha 2.
That's
Awesome.
yeah, that's really awesome. Like we, for those of you that don't know, in our Discord, by the way, here's our Discord. If you ever want to come in, we talk a lot about Ashes in there. It's very Ashes focused, but it's very community focused too. And I have been trying to poke Pockets constantly to post like new content in there when he makes it, but there's a couple of things that he's made in there, like the oh man, what's that armor that you made?
Regalia of the Iron
The
Lion.
Regalia, yeah. And that looks
I'll be
really
working
cool.
on my I'll be working on the finishing painting of my Hammer of Carfin here
Nice.
within the next couple weeks.
I love it.
If I recall, you're making all these props and stuff and cosplay worthy things, but if I recall correctly, you said you're not really trying to do the cosplay thing yourself. Is that right?
I don't like to cosplay. It's not for me. I like to just do the building.
That's fair.
And so I like to supply people with their materials because I don't like the attention, which is also part of the reason why I didn't want to start streaming either.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it a lot. May as well get something out of it. So
Yeah. Send it. I'll
Hey,
cosplay it. So Z.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah. I was gonna say, well, you got 2 potential customers of some of your art right here.
If we all go up there to PAX West, I will bring you guys your mask, and so you guys will have them
Aw,
to be able to take.
Nice.
that's awesome.
don't-
I would love to take photos with that.
I wouldn't have to paint myself purple for the day to cosplay.
The one thing about
Um,
these masks is they do not have a good mouth area.
Yeah.
And so they probably gets muffled and stuff like that. But yes.
Hey, it's still really cool though. That's awesome. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
It's fantastic.
but
I was
yeah.
not expecting to see something like that.
Me either. But on the topic of the Carfin Hammer, I was totally trying to get Pockets to meet up with us at PAX West because we are going, and there's a couple of other people coming too. But like I think Oracle, the White is going. I don't know. I think Anduin might be going. I don't know a few other people, but I was trying to be like, you should bring that so I can show everybody how short I actually am. Because we were talking about my height versus his props height. And one of them is just like...
Massive.
He's like, yeah, but see, the thing is, airplanes don't like things like that. And I'm like, good point.
I actually think that I can get through with it. I think I need to box it up as if it's like a package or something like that, and then maybe be able to check it. I don't know. I don't know.
Fair. Difficult.
Yes.
But Vertec, before I keep asking questions, did you have any question for him?
I could ask plenty. Like, I could totally get into prop making questions because I've been curious about it. I just have no artistic skills. So I've always been kind of like, well, maybe I won't because I'm just gonna waste time and money. I tried to do the art thing and I failed at it. I've failed at it so many times that I'm like, you know what? I'll leave it to the people who are good and practiced. I'll just watch and admire and say, you know what? I could make one of those in my dreams. That's good enough for me.
So there actually comes a funny story with that.
Okay,
and
do tell.
Fatal Arrow knows this one because while I was in class this year, I was using the Dremel on Chibi's eye. And you'll see it when you get it in person. However, there is a large hole here because the Dremel got out of my control.
No.
And you have and I'm going to send you the picture so you're going to see it. But there was a big old gap, a hole there, and he was like, "There's no way you're fixing that." And I was like, "I'll have it fixed by tomorrow." And sure enough, he came in the next day. It was fixed.
That's funny.
And people won't be able to tell that I messed up, but it looked bad on that first day. So, yes.
That's what they say. Don't judge the process.
Yes. Wait till you see it at the end. Yep. Actually, these masks might have been why I had such a long conversation with him that day, because I kept working on the props for this and was explaining a little bit about it. So I think this podcast is actually what got him interested. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, hey, Armored Monkey, and I think you're the only one that came in. Oh, Nuclear. Yeah, I said hi to you in chat, but I'm gonna say hi in person. Hi, Nuki. In person.
And hello, by the way,
yes, it was
Z.
for sure. Oh, awesome. But yeah, if you don't know much about us, we are a community-focused podcast. And so seeing Pawkets do more AshesofCreation stuff, I just had to reach out and be like, can you come on here? Plus, if you haven't seen it, he did that really cool, awesome, goblin mask, shaman goblin mask for Steven and sent it in to Steven, and Steven wore it, and that was really cool. And that's how I knew Pawkets and I were gonna get along just fine.
I think it's still hanging out on his desk every once in a while when we see his office.
Yes.
I love it. So
at least excited. 2 live streams after he wore it, I saw it behind him, and I'm like, I love it. Every single month, I'm like, yes, thank you. So,
I bet it brings a smile to their face, honestly, seeing stuff that people make for them.
I'm really curious. I want to know which artist made the mask, and I want them to critique it, because I know something, and probably nobody else knows this, but on the Goblin Shaman, they have these orange strings that are wrapped around the side jaw area, and they hang down. And I forgot them.
You talking about that
because I was so excited to get it nailed off that I had it in the box already, and I'm like, nope, leaving the orange string off. And I was so sad about it because I know that I messed it up, and I'm so curious if the artist even noticed. And I actually want to get an honest critique from the artist, and for them to say, I don't like what you did here. This is what's different. This is how it's supposed to be. Because the artist that made that work, they know very well. Now, cordially, they'll be very, kind. Oh, it was awesome and everything like that. But
you're like, no,
I'm an artist. I want the artist answer. And my students understand me. They know I want to be critiqued. And so I want to know what the artist really thinks, not the live stream nicety kind of thing. I want to know what they really think. So
not the PR answer, not the PR answer.
Exactly.
Tell me what you really think.
And actually, I think Z probably has an idea too. She produces so much art.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see the stuff that how creative the community can be.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
creative
yes.
in terms of like content ideas, not so much art physical things. I try. I know, Z. I know. We miss your art.
I've
Need
seen.
more
I
Z
I
art.
went through like the entire post on the forums and like looking at all of it. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it used to be
Yep,
every
yep,
single week there was something new to show off.
But alas,
Now
our Z
we're
art is barren.
missing everything about Z. Her art, her face, her voice.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
somewhere out there, there's an AI.
I think
And
this
they've
is just the
assumed
ghost
the
of Z
role of Z.
in here. Yeah, but the cosmetics have ended now. So, plenty of Z things to do. But also fair. Drawing inspiration from that.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. There was a time, let me tell you about Z real quick. There was a time when Z would constantly be like, hey, you need somebody? I'm here. Get me on. I'll get it. I'll join you. I think if you like search by like how many, just search somebody's name, Z has the most episodes.
Yeah, I think she's
Hi,
probably been on
Vladis.
like 10 episodes here with us, something like that.
Yep. Also, Vladis, I was just telling people earlier how you do really good interviews because Pockets found Suspect through your interview with Suspect. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh, the other thing, I forgot to mention this. I was
Oh, yeah.
trying to do the commercial with Vladis using these masks. And
Oh,
so
I
I was
love
trying to
it.
set up to go down to San Antonio. I already showed them the masks, Vladis. They loved them. That's why I couldn't do the commercial. I told you there were circumstances that I couldn't do it in time. That was what it was. And I never ended up going down to
Aw.
San Antonio. So we haven't even done that
Aw.
either.
Well, if you guys want, I mean, can always do it and then submit another one. We'll use that one.
And yeah, Z, those were the bestest of dark days when there was
They
no
were.
real information coming out, so we had no real content. And we'd hop in here and just chat and shoot the
Yep.
breeze, and some random topics would eventually come up. They'd bubble up to the surface and we'd have a little bit of convo about it.
Weren't really sure what to do with those all the time. So, yeah.
I need to go back and watch some of those.
But yeah, do it for the funnies. I want to see it. So, alrighty. Well, I think it's about time we get into the meat of this,
Let's
as
do
if the bard. Sorry, the Tempblard is not
Tempblard.
meaty enough. But this post is by Exiled Bird, and I'm just gonna bring us right in here because it's on topic with the guest. And Suspect is intending on being a part of the mercenary system, and Exiled Bird's worry, the concern with this post is that the corruption system will work a little too well potentially, and that it will eliminate the need for bounty hunter. Additionally, it could swing completely the opposite direction and not work well at all, and then scare away all the people who are greens. So the title of this is, what is the appropriate amount of green ganking? And overall, it seems like a lot of people think that there should be roughly like 3 people before you kind of get pinged by the corruption. And it's like, Nick actually has a really good, Ludo in chat here has a really good breakdown further down. I do highly suggest you check that out. And he makes some very good justifications as to why a PK count of around 3 would be valid. I'm going to highlight a couple of those real quick. So that's about 2 to 3% of the world are victims of PKing, which is about 100 PKers across the entire map, being about 1% of concurrent players. So the thing with the bounty hunter system is you kind of need people to go corrupt for the bounty hunter system to work. And OP's worry is that having maybe 2 to 3 people a day would not be enough to keep the bounty hunter system going. And for me, I think if you are end game and you're just relying on the bounty hunter system alone to be your gameplay loop, I think that's too little of a loop for you to rely on, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts?
So and now that you said that, it actually helps me out because it gives me a little bit more to talk about.
Yes.
As I said, I'm unsure at this point. Because I want to see what the balance looks like, right? And I don't think they know how many people are going to, you know, go red and attack people and stuff like that. If you look at the Ranger live stream, Steven accidentally finishes off whoever was tanking that day, like accidentally killed it, right? Now, you're gonna run into situations where like you see like a rare mob or, you know, a rare node spawn or something like that, and you're gonna want that, and it's gonna cross your mind. You're gonna be like, somebody beat me to it, but if I kill them, I can get it. And so like it is going to be a choice, and you're going to have to come up with it. But as far as like, if that's your only game play loop, I don't think it's going to be enough for you. However, there's so many other things to be able to do. And so like, once I get into Alpha 2, I plan on going for my own freehold. I plan on being a processing grandmaster. I'm going to be doing mercenary stuff on the side. If the mercenary stuff, people aren't hiring me, I'm probably going to go start to ransack some caravans, because then people would want to buy mercenaries to protect their stuff. And so there's so many different aspects of this that you can kind of go into that if you just choose like one thing, like a bounty hunter thing, it might run dry, but there's so many other things that you can do. And so find out where that's going to be. I was talking with Suspect the other day about like, I might need mercenaries to help defend my freehold, because if my node goes down and I need to, you know, protect my freehold, I would want to see my customers there, people that I've given my processed goods to, because they want me to keep my freehold. I would hire my own mercenaries, but I also want to see if my guild will come in and help as well in that. And I was talking to them about that, and they said, like we'll be there, you know, like especially if you're helping out the guild with that. And so there's so many gameplay loops, but if that, like if somebody, if I lose my freehold 3 or 4 times, I'm probably going to be like, nope, no longer grandmaster processor. I'm going to find something else to do. And so like you're going to be able to, you're going to have to move things around. It can't be like, you can't know what you're doing going into the whole thing. So I'm curious, Vertec. Would you ever not go for a tavern again? Or I'm curious about that.
Yeah, see, we had actually, I thought we had talked about that on the stream at some point, but I can't remember if we have or not. So, well, here, real quick, let me give my opinion on the the conversation topic here. I think it's going to be tough, because there's also going to be the question of how many people are active, right? Like if your guild is super active and a lot of player base falls off, and then they increase the registered number of people, or accounts rather, that are allowed on the server to make up for it, to get more population in. I mean, they'll have to keep doing that, like trickling people in to make sure the population stays around the, what's the desired, like 8 to 10,000 concurrent?
8 to 10,000 concurrent, yeah.
But then also, what's that? They won't be able to kick it up too much, because then what happens when they put out a new expansion or new content and everybody tries to flock in to check it out, and suddenly 30,000 accounts try to log in at once, and the server power balance being there for 8 to 10,000 gets way overloaded, and now there's a 3-hour queue or something to log in.
Are you talking about for Alpha 2 or Ashes?
For just after at launch, at launch. Alpha 2, I mean, who knows what they're going to be doing for that. They're going to be testing everything. So there's going to be queues, there's going to be lag, there's going to be empty servers, there's going to be everything while they test it throughout all of Alpha 2, I guarantee. We will see all of it. So we'll kind of see how these systems work in every kind of condition, I imagine. But I don't know, because I'd like to be a bounty hunter too. If nothing else, because I'd like to have multiple characters. So I'm going to have one character be a bounty hunter for sure. And yeah, there's going to be my I'm trying to just do PvE, leave me alone character. So if someone turns red attacking me, because I'm going to hit the X key to sit down when people start attacking me and I'm out in the wild and I don't feel like dealing with their BS, they're going to go red, and I'm going to immediately get on my bounty hunter and be like, well, I know where one was. They couldn't have gotten too far.
Oh my gosh.
Let me go get some points for that kill. But, you know, we'll see. But yeah, to answer your question directly, Yeah, there's definitely going to be a point in my mind where if I have to restart too often and we're not able to make enough money to make it an easy transition into getting a new one like right away, because it's all going to be, because we also have to worry about, is there going to be one available? Do you have the money to go and buy one somewhere immediately as soon as it becomes available? Because you know for sure all of the freehold spots are going to be taken up when the server gets to a point of stability. Like there's no more nodes that can level up and open up new freeholds. They're all going to be bought, they're all going to be filled, and the only way to get another one is to destroy another node, thus letting another one level up, which will open up different freeholds elsewhere. And if you don't have that money in a bank ready to go, you're going to miss out. You're just flat out going to miss out.
What if you have buddies in the node? In you guys are going to have plenty of friends around. I'm curious, like maybe, okay.
We'll see.
Only
then the
because,
question is,
I hear some of the other content creators don't want to be on the same server as other content creators, so it's like I have friends, but they're
to keep your friends your friends. Yeah. It's kind of like that saying that if you want to stay friends with somebody, don't be a roommate.
Yeah.
Don't live with them, because you'll get to learn what they're like, and then you'll just be like, get away from me, I don't like you. It's kind of the same thing, like living on the same server on Ashes might become that, because your node is going to fight their node, guilds are going to fight guilds, and then at first it's going to be like, oh, that's just how the game goes, and after a while it's like, God, will they stop winning? Please will they stop winning? And someone's going to get upset. But the bigger question is, like, are your friends going to get to that node and buy that freehold on your behalf and hold it for you before somebody else just snaps it up because they had the money waiting, and they literally have been pushing, like their guild pushed to get this node to level up before any other node, and they were ready and they bought in immediately. No matter how much money you have, you can't buy another one at that point. You just can't.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention this because I don't even know if you guys know or not, but on Saturdays lately, like the last month, I think, and I'm going to continue to do it on Saturday mornings, I'm actually doing a thing where I go through, like I was going through old PvP live streams and looking at like very slow motion, going at 0.25 speed, and evaluating what was going on. And I'm going to do one tomorrow morning as well. That is actually over the node progression video, watching where a node levels up and stuff like that. And there's a few things that I already noticed in it that I'm really curious about. One thing is you'll notice like the main node that is being leveled up in that, towards the end it starts flashing red, and that means that it was being contested or it was being fought over, and it actually gets destroyed. And then like what happens after that like is really like interesting, like how it like shatters everything around it. But I've been doing these Saturday morning copium things, and I was talking I've been talking about I was thinking about the metropolises. These are only cities, but when they destroy, you can actually see the effects of it. So it's really interesting to see that, and I'm curious how much more that's going to happen throughout Alpha 2. Like how like, and then again, it's going to be balanced because you don't know how much people are going to be attacking cities and things like that, and like what you do to kind of stifle other people. Like it's very, very interesting to watch. So
yeah,
I mean, in Alpha we're going to see it happen. I mean, they have to test it and see what happens and how people react, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's really going to be a long Alpha 2, because they got to give it enough time to get the server stable, to get everything working well, and to get some bugs ironed out, and then they might be able to seed it with a couple like high level, a couple like say experience amplifiers. Like give it a month real quick, see what's going on, and then just boost every single node's experience by like 100% just to raise everything exactly where it was, just to speed it along. But then they're gonna have to wait and see people interact, and maybe after a while just say, hey guys, guess what? Node 73 won the lottery. That's the one we got to nuke. So everybody get ready. We're doing a node siege. And then everyone who's on that that metropolis is going to say, no, 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 no.
So
even if it's the strongest ones.
Possibly, yeah. Actually, if you don't mind, I kind of want to divert this topic a little bit.
Okay.
I feel it goes really in line with what Boxstream was talking about on the forums, and here's the link for that. So Boxstream was saying after a successful siege of a metro node, that he thinks you should allow the vassal nodes to fight over who gets the chance to be the next metro node from like level 3 up, including opting out options by citizens. So the citizens can vote to opt out of fighting for trying to place to be the next metro, essentially. Juby, aw, cheers.
Thank you,
friend.
Juby. Cheers to you. Everybody, if you don't know Juby, you should.
He's a good slime boss.
Best slime boss ever.
Best slime boss ever. But I actually thought this was really interesting because, you know, the idea and someone else had said things like they like the idea, they're not really sure how to implement this, and someone else said that they want the vassalization to be made by the players since the vassals can't attack the parent, so it puts more power in the player's hand. Like, if I'm being forced to ally with this person, like, what if Pawkets and I get in an argument and I don't like Pawkets now, and so Pawkets is the mayor of the metro node, but I'm a vassal, I'm not allowed to attack Pawkets, but Pawkets can attack me anytime he wants, you know, that kind of thing. And then another random idea somebody else had was having like a competition, point-based competition, where it's kind of like a capture the flag, whoever gets the most points becomes the next metro idea. This is some ways to do it besides just after the metro falls, whoever is first to get to 5th level becomes the new metro. What are your thoughts?
So I forgot that this was on the notes, and so that's actually the reason why I was looking into this, is because I was like, I don't know enough about this, and so I opened up that new node simulation. I had to go search for it and stuff. I opened up the node simulation, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really interesting. You know, it's a bunch of numbers, but it actually it shows a lot of like what's going on. And so I forgot that this was in there because I was like, I don't know, like, and so like I think it'd be a lot more detailed than what I'm able to answer in this time that we have. Okay. But if a vassal can attack a metro, and like their relationship is going to be kind of like symbiotic. The things that happen to that metro benefit the vassal, and so even if you don't like me as the mayor of this metropolis, right? You will gain some stuff from that. You will gain some like benefits and things like that. Now, if it comes to the point where you really don't like me and you no longer want me to have a metro, you could start working with a like and based on this node time lapse of the simulation thing, you'll notice where all the other higher level ones are, and just because they're a vassal of one does not mean that they can't become a vassal of another at a certain point. And so if you notice that over here you have a metro, and they have a level 5 node that's underneath them, and they're pretty good distance away, but they're still vassaled with that. If they were to take out this metropolis, they potentially could change their vassalization and actually become the new metropolis over here. And so they actually have the incentive to try and look somewhere else, because they're like, they can't attack this metro theirs is. Now you, at being vassaled by this person, you think that this level 5 over here is a better node to be vassaled under. You can say, hey, if you attack them, I'm not going to defend them. I'm going to be out and tell you what, I run this wonderful tavern. If your people, if they keep me in my freehold area, and you take this node, I will work for you. You know, you could like work those kind of things. And so I want to see more about this, but yeah, like I watched that node simulation, and that's very, very interesting to me. One of the sad things about it is it only goes up to level 5 nodes. It does not go up to level 6 nodes. And so I don't even know the full extent of everything that's going on, but it is very interesting, and it showed a lot of things. That I'm really happy that this was on there, because it gave me something that I'm going to be looking into.
Yay. I love it.
I honestly, I didn't read through the entire thread here for this, but to a degree, isn't that kind of how things work? I mean, the one thing I would agree with for sure is that you should be able to attack your parent node in my mind, because you might be perfectly happy with how things panned out, or for that matter, one population. There could, let's say for the sake of ease, 3 guilds were the primary residents of one node, and 3 guilds were the primary residents of another, and they were racing to the top. They're level 5, and then one of them hits level 6. The other 3 that lost, or in the losing node, didn't like that, and they all dipped out and ran. Now new people move in, and they start taking over, and they keep that node at level 5, and they don't like a new mayor that came in like 2 months down the road. Why should they not be able to revolt against it because they took a bad turn? It's a completely new population, completely new mayor, it's a completely new situation all around. Why should they not be able to rebel?
Because they lost already. Now,
they didn't.
Like, I understand. I understand that. But let's say that, like if we go with it that way, and you can attack the people that beat you, what's to stop you from staying in that node and still attacking them every month? You know, like, it's going to be like a harassment kind of thing. Whereas, like what I was saying, like, you can choose not to defend them. You can choose to protect them. You can choose not to defend them. But I don't think you should be able to attack them. I think that's a little bit different.
But how is it different from, say, let's say the node ZOIs ended up working out to have 2 metropolis literally right next to each other. They're bumped up right next to each other. They're next door neighbors. What's to stop it from being a similar situation where just 2 level 6 metropolises are just always attacking each other? How is that different in the turmoil in the area type situation? Because one node wants to attack another node. Like, it's the same story, right? One node is trying to take over and destroy another node.
Lulu says, exactly. What exactly stops us from just fighting? The entire goddamn game is about fighting.
So, I think of it... Thinking about, like, world politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were a country and go in and conquer another country, you can kind of keep them under your foot, right? And that's what I feel like vassals are. If you get vassaled, you're kind of under their foot. You're under their control. And that's like, now, I think it's to keep them from, like let's say a vassal wants to do an uprising, right?
Mm.
What's to stop the parent node from just destroying the vassal? They've already beat them once. Why not just keep destroying them and putting them in their place and making them leave? Like, and so I think that's kind of what it's trying to solve, is that kind of issue. I think that once you get vassaled, I think you should be like, you can either choose to protect and defend, or you can choose to stay out of the situation. But I don't think you should be able to attack. Yeah.
I don't know, it's a tricky situation, because like, on the one hand, and I'm not on either of your side, I'm just like, I'm vibing kind of thing, because like on Vertex Point, we didn't fight for it. It was a matter of like, this node leveled up first, yes, because people were going through that node to get to the other nodes, and they were fighting stuff along the way. And then on the other hand, it's like, okay, but like, because of that, a hierarchy was created. So technically, like, in a way, you chose that rather than just going further and fighting somewhere else to build that node up first and then coming back. So it's one of those, I don't know. And maybe some servers will be built like that. Some servers, people might go past that initial node and go fight somewhere else to build up a different node first and then work their way back. Or for some servers, or even parts of the server, they'll stay near the gateway and they'll quest near the gateway and make that area the first part. It's really interesting because like this comes down to the diversity of servers and how each server is going to handle different things. It goes back to the previous conversation too, right? Where the corruption system on server A, people might be very like, oh, that's fine, you know, you get that, I'll get this thing over here, and you know, maybe it'll spawn later. And server B might be like, nah, that's mine. Yeah. You know.
So I got to bring up one thing that that I'm used to hearing quite a lot with some of the things I try and be a proponent of. But
okay,
how about risk versus reward? How about risk versus reward? If you're gonna try and put yourself up and set yourself up as a metropolis, shouldn't you have a little bit of risk? Like you got to keep all of your vassals entertained and happy about your policies.
This is why I think, and if you want them to defend you, yes. However, you still have the risk, and you have the risk of that level 5 node that's under vassaled by somebody else. That's your risk. You have the risk of like 3 other level 5 nodes that are unhappy being vassaled, and they're looking at you because they can't attack their person, right? And so the 3 level 5 nodes are all looking at your level 6 because that's their way out. And so like it actually forces people to look in other directions rather than taking the easy one that's right underneath them that they're getting benefits from. I think it's a controlling.
So you're looking at a level 5 node that's vassaled to some other level 6 way across the map. They could be a 30-minute run across the map, but because they're a level 5 that's vassaled to a level 6, they're trying to take down this level 6?
Yes, because it changes the entire map after one of those other ones falls.
But it doesn't change the area that they're in. Their Metro ZOI stays the same. It doesn't do anything. It's already reached its max. It can't take on any new vassals.
I would need to watch the video again. And I studied the video a lot, but I didn't want to go into it too deep because I planned on doing it on Saturday.
That's fair.
And I'm trying to pull it up again right now so I can see what it is.
Yeah, there's I'd have to look it up again, but it's there's something like every level 6 can have like 2 level 5s and like a couple level 4s and a level 3 or something like that directly vassaled to it, and then everything spreads out like a spider web below that. But
yes, but
once it hits a max, it hits a max.
When a metropolis falls and is destroyed, you'll notice that all of its zone of influence become a it becomes like a scatter ball, and it has all these other new zones of influences. And so I believe that it can actually adjust and take I think it can change the map. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it would depend on it would depend on what other node climbs up to be Metropolis, because then everything else around it starts to be vassaled to it, right? So if one of the level 5s, which is obviously probably the one that's going to end up going up to a 6, you would imagine. If they're already level 5, it's probably going to have enough gumption to get up to a 6. But then it becomes the new 6, and it locks out everything else around it, but everything else around it, now that it's gone up a level, now everything else around it can grow up a level.
I know where it's at. Sorry. I'm not trying
Hey, no worries, no worries.
No, honestly, I love this between you two because I don't have much of an opinion on that. But I mean, I do think it should be something, or it would be cool, not should be, but it would be cool to be able to attack a parent node. I understand why they maybe don't want you to, but I honestly just can't wait to test this out in game to see how it actually feels, rather than like a lot of these things, you know, talking about tank walls and seeing tank walls on a stream feels very different than experiencing tank walls as a tank. And
yeah.
So I think I know what it is. If you look at okay, so you see where zone of influences are, but there's kind of like a gray area where you see like this level 5 node is like a dark green, and then this one's like a yellowish green. And where they meet up at is this kind of like quasi area. And then when the node falls, hold on.
Let's see.
Sorry.
when the node falls, all the colors in that area become like all these other ones. And so I think what you would want, if you were that level 5 node that's currently vassaled, you not only want to attack this level 6 node over here, but you also want somebody else to attack your level 6 node as well. That way you are like one of the higher ones that are there. But like it breaks it down, like in the zone of influences looks a lot like the other zone of influences. And so there's like one area that is purple here, there's a space of green that's here, and then there's a purple up here. So like even a node that was not near this purple, they are together. And so that's a really interesting, like this is why I was looking so forward to looking into this tomorrow morning. Because there's these like little like switches where it happens. And so I'm really curious to see more of this, but I don't know enough. And I think that it's a balance kind of thing as well. But
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, zones of influence are gonna be a very interesting topic to see how it legitimately plays out. And yeah, Nara, what you were saying there, level 6 doesn't seem to be able to, or level 5 may not be able to level directly up to a 6, but it's highly likely to reach 6 before level 4 would.
One thing I wanted to say too is going back to the original point of the the post. I kind of thought it would be a little bit neat if they did go down the route of like the level 6 metro falls, and then the other nodes could, war to try and get it. What if that was the thing? You could then use the node war to fight over who gets the resource areas, so that they are getting extra resources into becoming the next metro.
That's where that's actually a lot of risk, because like you have 2 level 5 nodes that are like your metro falls, right? And you have 2 level 5 nodes, and you can be like, now let's just race them for experience and let's beat them to the level 6, right? Or you're like, I don't know if we could beat them. All right, so let's challenge them to a node war, and then like let's try and put them in their place. Like, you have the decision. Do we just try and like it's in League of Legends, you do something called a base rush, where you notice a team is going for the final. It's called a nexus. They're going for the final nexus, and so you have people that are in position that they might be able to get their nexus first, and so you guys do like a base rush to try and figure out where. And so like, do you choose to fight them? Do you choose that node war, or do you choose to try and do the race? And so like, it'd be really interesting to see how people kind of decide to do which. And if you win the node war, that's good. If you lose the node war, that's bad. So
yeah, because ultimately the node war is going to be against the 2 5s, because there's already 2 5s. There's no way there could be a third 5. But the lower ranking areas like could essentially do a node war to take their resources and hinder them from becoming the 6.
I just realized how min-max people will be to figure out which node's up next in the, like, people are going to be like, okay, so if we take out this node here, we'll be able to get this. Like this is where all the planning's going to come, is from these nodes, and people that understand it are going to be awesome. The people that are like stuck at a level 3 and they're like, why can't I level up my level 3? Oh, nerd.
It's going to be bananas.
Nerd. Just naturally throws that out there.
It's going to be some absolutely insane theory crafting and like data tracking on some sites. I guarantee it.
Yep. And Ulrich says all of this we should be able to put input in during Alpha 2, and we should. I agree. Then I think that's what Alpha 2 is for. Vertek, did you have any thoughts on the node war fiasco after a siege?
Node war fiasco.
Siege.
Node war fiasco after a successful siege.
Yeah, the whole thing I was just describing. Where after a successful siege, the vassal nodes can then enter into a war of sorts with each other to like affect who becomes the next like metro.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because I think vassals can war against each other just fine. But I'm just curious how often that's going to actually happen, and how immediately it's going to happen. Like, is it going to be like immediately as soon as you find out that Bob's your neighbor, you're like, I don't like Bob. I want Bob's resources. Or are you gonna take a little while and be like, I don't like Bob. I need to get him out of here. I need to get hold of landlord's not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Landlord is not getting this guy out. So I need to go kick his door down and get him out of here.
Fair.
So something I just thought about, like the strongest nodes are going to be the nodes that people want to be in, including vassals, right? And so imagine one node going in a node war against another node, right? Mm-hmm. And the level 6 says, hey, we're going to take on this level 6, and you have all 13 of your nodes being like, okay, well, we're a level 3, we'll take on this level 3 node. We're a level 5, we'll take on this level 5 node. And you have like an entire full node that is going in to lay siege on this other node. But then again, you have a metropolis with a person who's just a shit person to work for. You don't like them, and they're like, we're gonna go to war against this node. Okay, bye, see ya. And then like all of your vassals stay home, and they're like, I don't want to fight for you. And so like the best leaders are going to be the ones that are going to have the strongest nodes, and you're going to kind of see that. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I agree.
The politics are going to be insane.
Right. If you thought that was a hot topic, though, we have a hotter topic yet.
What are you talking about? How could there possibly be a hotter topic?
Bunny hopping.
Oh my gosh. So we have a hopper
bunny
topic.
Hopping. We have a hopper topic. Exactly. So for those of you that don't know, in this case, bunny hopping is referred to as people who jump constantly in PvP, and Pawkets is dying to call me out, so I'll let you go ahead and give your outline on why you suggested this topic.
Okay, so again,
ready, set, go.
On Saturdays, I have been going through in slow motion, looking at specific PvP things. I've been looking at tanks, and I was looking at a tank who was bound to a healer, in this case, Chibi. And she happened to live a very long time. Now, once all the everybody else was dead, and Chibi was the only healer that was up. And I think that binding does a heck of a lot of things, by the way. It was keeping, like, you were tanky as heck, and then once he outranged you, you started to die. And so I think that binding is really powerful. But I noticed something in this where you, I believe you were panicking a little bit, and you were jumping 7 times while being attacked.
I like counting, the specific right? counting. Who's
counting?
Counting.
Right? And I understand it. I understand the feeling. And I was thinking about this, and I've seen other people talk about it. The 2 topics that we're talking about in this, they don't like it because it looks bad in a game or something like that. And in my personal opinion, and this actually, I want to tell you how personal this is to me. I'm a League of Legends player. Okay. And when I first started playing League of Legends, you get something called ganked. And in the first 4 seasons that I played League of Legends, as soon as a new person came onto my screen, I freaked out. I was like, oh shit, they're coming, they're going, and I got so nervous and so worked up that I almost always died. I almost got killed, and it was just horrible. And it was that anxiousness, that scaredness that I needed to fix, right? And it made me a bad player to have that anxiety and that kind of thing. And so when I started watching professional people play League of Legends, I noticed how controlled and how mindful they were when a situation came that they were not expecting. And rather than turning into my anxious self that I did, they were so collected. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I need to start doing that, right? And so it incentivized me not to get my anxiety up, not to do things like panic jump and things like that. But instead, figure out, okay, what are my outs? Where can I go from here? What is my options? You know, and it actually made me a better player, and I really, really appreciated it. And so what I was thinking about for this, do you guys want to go to my fix, or do you want to go into your guys' opinions first?
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
So the fixes that people have suggested is stamina, and I don't like that. Stamina is stupid. If you guys wanted to, I could jump. I could do 250 jumps right here, and I run out of no stamina. I could keep jumping the whole time, right? And so using stamina for jump, I hate that. I do not want that. And so like I would rather us not fix bunny hopping if it's going to be with stamina. I'd rather just keep that stamina right out. I don't want that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to kind of incentivize people to keep their feet on the ground. And so one thing that I was thinking that's already built into the game, there's a lot of skills that increase, like if a person is tripped, it increases their likelihood to be stunned. And so it's not like a punishment. You can still bunny hop all you want. However, let's say it gives like a 5% increase to being tripped, which if you are jumping, there is a much better chance of somebody to kick your legs right out from underneath you. And so I think that that would be a really good way to help incentivize people to keep their feet and to keep their stability while using what's already built into the game. That's my opinion.
okay. So my question of all that is, how does jumping hurt people?
In combat?
Yeah. How does jumping hurt people? Like, there's so many people. I did not know that jumping, hitting the space bar was that much of a trigger for people. I've never heard that before in my life until like very recently.
Real quick, to give some background, I have here two different sources, I guess, of where people are trying to mitigate or hi Ezekiel, trying to mitigate or kind of
really quick.
Out.
It was Ezekiel's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Ezekiel.
Happy birthday,
Ezekiel.
Or no, it's coming up, but he did his birthday stream yesterday.
Yeah, I was lurking a little bit.
Yeah.
I was working on the Guild Summit stuff, but I was lurking. But yeah, so with the bunny hopping thing, some people wanted to put it on stamina, other people wanted like just options to keep people from doing it as much, whether it's a cooldown or something. And for some people, it seemed like that they either were annoyed with people constantly jumping on their screen, or they think that bunny jumping is a way to mitigate dying in PvP. In terms of like, if you're jumping, then you're living much longer than you should be living, essentially. And my take is, I don't want to feel limited in how I play my game. If I want to bunny jump until I can calm down and not bunny jump as much, I want to do that. Let me do that. That's my process. You know, this is how I learn. And I'll let you get to yours. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So like, the big reason I wanted to ask, like, what's it hurt people? Because one, does it provide a combat advantage? If no, then why does it matter? If yes, then why is it not a valid tactic? Like, I don't know, chaining abilities together, or cooperating with another player and using two different skills that chain together to create a third effect, or I don't know, using a shield and active blocking. Why don't you get an attack penalty with your first swing before and after you actively shield block? Why does that not happen? Because it's just, you're introducing penalties into combat. And if someone wants to use a certain strategy, then if it provides a benefit, why penalize them for doing it?
Yeah. And for me, I mean, here's my problem. Let's say you want to cool down while we're in combat. Cool. How do we make sure that only happens in combat? Because the next problem becomes, what if I'm trying to jump to get up on something, and now I have to deal with whatever this trip issue is, whatever this stamina bar issue is, anything. Now it's like affecting other parts of the gameplay that you don't even have to see as the person that's irritated by seeing the person jump or engaging with me in PvP, because that's not happening. But I think that by hampering what you can do with jumping is just frustrating in terms of like the freedom that Intrepid is offering us in other ways, right? You can free climb other stuff. You can jump up the side of things that you just normally can't in other games. So that's a worry I have with adding something like that. In addition, I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, I know, Sir Umsington. Ha ha ha. Play Ranger Bree if you want to jump so much. You can do all the cool tricks in the air.
So, sometimes in some games, bunny hopping does give you an advantage.
Okay.
It's typically bad game design because like it allows you to miss spell effects, or like in WoW there were some spell effects that happen on the ground that even if you jumped and you were out of the spell effect, it takes off where you were last feeted at, or where your feet were last at, and even though you were out of the spell effect, it still hit you. I don't remember which boss it was. It was a raid boss in one of the early classics that did that. But it's typically bad game design is what it is. But it can give you an advantage. It can help you like avoid getting like headshots and things like that that might increase damage and that kind of thing. And in WoW, specifically in arenas, because I played a Resto Druid, I actually used bunny hopping as kind of a mental attack against the people, because they just saw me in the back going, jumping and throwing my heels, and like it would make them lose their control of what they were thinking, because it was annoying them so much. And so in WoW, I had no reason not to bunny hop, right? I have no cast time on my heels. I can just hop around in the back and make it look like I don't care what you're doing, because it's so easy for me to heal. And so I actually use bunny hopping a lot within arenas. However, I would like a game that actually encouraged me to think about like, where are my feet planted? How long have I been here, right? And actually, even in Terraceland, they actually have stability built into the game. I would not suggest Terraceland. I don't know if I'm even going to go back to play it anymore. It kind of annoyed me a little bit. But even in that game, they have something called stability. And so like the longer you as a ranger keep your feet planted, you build like a power buff or something like that. I didn't really figure it out, but I thought that was really interesting that even in that game, they had that kind of idea, that encouragement to keep your feet planted or think about how long your feet have been planted. But I also noticed that in this video that you have playing, Kinge jumps up on the terrain to go. And what you were talking about is, what if you're in combat, and like you have the mindset of a healer, right?
Yeah.
And so you definitely would rather be able to just jump up this little like hill and get away from all those mean melee that are chasing you, right? But then the melee, they would love to have that 10% chance opportunity that as you're jumping trying to get away, that they are able to trip you because you keep doing this jump. And so like that kind of like that's what I like. Yes, you as a healer, you do want to jump and you do want to get away as much as possible, and that might be your highest chance of living to go that way. But like that's where I okay, go on.
Here's my thing. For one, I was also meaning outside of that. Unless you find a way to only incorporate that during combat, like only combat this happens, then when I'm out of combat, I'm still being affected, is kind of what I was getting at as well. But the other thing is, this is where your choice of class and utility comes into play. This is where CCs come into play. You don't want me jumping, freeze me. You don't want me jumping, chain me. Something. You know, do something that CCs me so I can't do that.
Yeah, because that's also like my first reaction when I heard that people get bent out of shape by other players jumping around was like, what, are you just upset because someone can dodge your skill, your attack? Is that really it? You're just so bloodthirsty, like, oh my god, someone can jump out of the way, no! And it looks dumb. It's breaking my immersion. There's so many things that can break your immersion and whatnot. To me.
What?
Huh? What?
SticQeno. Thank you.
SticQeno. Thank you, Q. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, all you raiders.
Welcome in, Raider. Sorry, I just saw announcements like popping up on my screen, and I was like, "What?
Red is always raging around bunny hoppers.
By the way, his birthday was yesterday, and his album dropped yesterday too.
Everybody's birthday.
Holy mackerel!
Birthday.
How many birthdays are there in like 0 time? We're gonna have to mark like a day down in the middle of all this.
I am. Yeah, I was the narrator. Hi.
Yeah, next year we just need to have like a happy birthday everybody party right around this time.
Aw, thank you, Crackers. Appreciate
That's
that.
funny. Ulrich too. Oh my gosh.
Hello. Funny, my videos yesterday too. That's crazy. Thanks all. No, thank you. Only saying because there's a pirate streaming.
Ooh. Crackers.
A pirate streaming.
Oh, thank you. I needed that. Yeah. There we go. Lovely. Very lovely. Cheers.
Hey, there we go. I'm gonna do this. Boom. Immortalize Crackers in the video.
The what?
So immortalize Crackers in the video.
There you go.
TGF Taverners winning viewership numbers in AOC. Congratulations. Well, thank you.
But no, I actually, for those of you that don't know, I was given the honor to work with SticQeno, and I was the narrator for his album. That is actually, I don't know if you know this or not, for those of you that do know that he dropped it, it's repeatable. And he designed it in such a way that when you finish the last song and it repeats to the beginning, it's supposed to be a nice continual loop. As if I'm never ending telling the story.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I listened to it, listened through it once. I mean, I was gonna listen to it more than once already, but I mean in a row. Like I have to listen to it in a row all the way through. That's awesome.
And fun fact to SticQeno, I was sitting in voice chat with a group of people in our Discord, and Vertex starts yelling,
yeah,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, so Q had me read a voice line, and it's a very dramatic sounding voice line when you don't know that it's a voice line for something. And I was screaming it at almost the top of my lungs, but not quite.
Yeah.
Loud enough that I was sure the neighbors wouldn't actually hear it and think something was wrong. And I just heard through a wall in the door, I had just heard cackling. I heard cackling from a chibi. It was fantastic. But I think I gave Q like 5 recordings of that voice line, and after the 3rd one, I just couldn't.
Yeah. I died laughing.
There's the other one getting nasty.
Yeah.
Look at that
Pawkets,
gorgeous face right there.
You can also see I even have like your earrings in there. It's so hard to actually.
I love that. It's 3D.
Oh my
is
gosh,
3D, yes.
that's fantastic.
Yes, it is. And the hair.
So cool.
Oh, I was just gonna say the hair and everything too. I love it.
Yes.
But yeah,
That's
Q's
amazing.
new album is awesome. I agree.
Pawkets, I'm your biggest fan.
I want to actually address Gank Nasty in this.
Okay.
Because I'm a World of Warcraft player, I like racials. And I am a min-maxer of racials. And so I don't know yet what I will be. My 3 main, and I just recently got a 3rd main choice that I'm going to go. My first is going to be Renkai, unless the racials are not as good as Pirate. I also like Pirate. I like the buildings of Pirate a lot. And 3rd, Beach Dwarf. Okay, because Beach Dwarf is best dwarf. All right.
Yes.
And it's only because all these dwarf people are hating on the beach dwarves that would be my 3rd.
I'd be a beach dwarf with you. I'll make an alt.
I actually, one thing that I do want to do is I do want to make another fishhook now, because I want to make an AshesofCreation fishhook. I have this one that is specifically Maui's.
Okay.
But I like the AshesofCreation fishhook so much more than Maui's fishhook. So
yeah.
Time to make a new one.
Think of halflings.
It is a big fishhook. Huge.
It's a huge
Beach
hook.
make the best pina coladas. I agree, Lord Forge. I agree. But yeah, so for those of you that are just joining in, we were neck deep in an argument debate about bunny hopping.
We were discussing bunny hopping and how weird it is that everyone's so offended by it.
See, and like as I said, I am not an anti-bunny hopper, and I am an anti-stamina for jumping. I am that, but I would like to see an incentive to keep feet on the ground or stability. That's
yeah.
it. If you don't, I'm going to be bunny hopping. People can hate on me all they want, but I'll be doing it. But
I don't want my feet forced to be on the ground though. Like let me do it. But like also, wouldn't that be so annoying? Like imagine Vertec. What's your favorite saying whenever we play video games? What's your favorite skill?
Spacebar is always the best skill. Always.
So imagine you're just hippity hopping your way down, not the bunny trail, because that's where the murder bunnies are for Vertec. But, just down your way, to mirror left maybe. And you're getting tripped the whole way down because you're bunny hopping constantly. Like that would be so irritating.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, I would be somewhat okay with stamina being reduced for jumping while in combat specifically. And I say somewhat okay because I'd still like to jump around randomly, just because, not even if I'm actually like doing anything or timing it to get out of a damaging whatever. But also as a tank, that means I'm also going to need stamina for my active blocking. I'm going to need it for so many different things that I'm going to lose my space bar.
Stamina should not be for jumping.
I was going to say real quick for you, Lloyd says stamina boo. Like he's doing that like my brain hurts. I'm just using simple things at this point. So he says stamina boo. What do you say to that?
Stamina boo. I mean, even the tripping thing is kind of weird to me, because it's kind of like saying, yeah, you can actively block, but you're going to take more damage from behind, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're standing there, you're staring in this direction, so you're going to take, they're guaranteed hits and they're going to be crits because you're blocking only what's in front of you. Mm-hmm. So if you jump and somebody hits you, you could totally trip, right? So probably not.
So thinking about battle, and this is why I'm anti-stamina for jumping, right? Even if I was wearing full armor, I could jump for days. Like I could jump and be just fine. I could jump 50 times with armor on. I'm a veteran, so I've worn body armor and stuff like that. I've been able to jump with armor on, no big deal. Now I will tell you, I do think stamina should be there for rolling. Because I'm fat now and there ain't no way I'm rolling more than twice before I'm running out of breath. Like rolling, yeah, I'm all fine for stamina for rolling. I understand it for active blocking. I think blocking does not take very much stamina at all, but I understand you don't want somebody to sit there and block the entire time, because that's not fun gameplay either. But jumping, I think you should be able to jump very frequently, and so even if they were to add stamina in, I wouldn't want to see it affect jumping. So
yeah, and I do get the perspective of those platformers, so you can always main jumping in there, but then there's also people like me and probably Vertec and definitely Lloyd who have ADHD, and it's just more fun to just jump because it's fun.
I mean,
I
just
want to jump a lot.
There's also my crybaby answer of, you're taking away my competitive PvE. I can't even just raid with my buddies and have fun banging my head against the wall of an almost impossible boss like 100 times in a night. At least let me have my jumping in PvP. At least let me retain my jumping in PvP and everywhere. At least let me keep that.
I just hope that one of us wins in the end for this. Like I just hope that stamina does not win for this. Because if they don't have tripping in, I'm fine. I'm going to be bunny hopping. If they do have tripping in, I'm going to be mindful to keep my feet on the ground while in combat.
Okay, there's only one way I will let there be tripping.
Okay.
Can you make a really, really amusing animation when I'm tripped though?
Sound effect.
The thing where it's like,
yes,
face hits ground, feet fly in the air.
Yes.
Slide for
banana
a minute.
slip. Exactly.
Yes, banana slip. That'd be so great. Yes.
I mean, don't get Pawkets any bananas because he sets boats on fire with them. But yes.
He does. He does.
I think it was chicken.
Oh, it may have been chicken. But either way, he sets your boats on fire. Don't let him cook. Not on your boat.
Let him cook.
You know what, Ulrich? I can't fire. You're kicked out. Just get out. Out that way.
And yeah,
Buddy flop.
Dross Leona, by the way, says depends on the utility the bunny hopping gives in the game and the way the jump works. If it's WoW jumping mechanics, that feels archaic.
I was actually gonna bring that up too.
Did they have stamina in the Node Wars thing?
I mean, it existed. It didn't get used or built up. It just there was a bar. I think it was for stamina. It was a giant yellow bar.
So it says, Fatal Arrow said, I think its stamina should only affect blocking if the shield is being hit multiple times. I was curious if you guys already knew the answer to how the stamina worked with active blocking.
In regards to Node Wars testing, I don't think for attack, because you did more active blocking than I did. I don't even know what button that was supposed to be. But did you notice any stamina depletion with the active blocking, or did not seem to be quite set up yet? Because that was not the focus anyway.
I don't recall ever seeing that yellow bar move.
Okay.
And yeah, Lulu, I guess I would explain it. That might be the case because they didn't have restrooms turned on either. So there's no way to deplete the bar.
And how long was the testing?
Yeah, a couple hours. It's kind of torturous.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. All right, but yeah, I don't know about the jumping, like WoW jumping mechanics. Can you break that down? Because I don't I played WoW, but I don't really know what that relates to exactly to answer.
Which like the archaic part?
Yeah, if it's WoW jumping mechanics, that feels archaic. Like what is WoW jumping mechanics?
So
my assumption was that it was what you were talking about with the last place your foot was on the ground when you jumped. Like, that's what I think. That's what I think he's referring to.
It wasn't for all the things though. It was only for certain raid bosses. So some of them, like me personally, I jumped out every single time, but there were several times that we were like, wait, why are people dying? And we realized that the people that just ran out of the circle did not die, even though they were a little bit closer to the circle. But the people that jumped out, they and it's like I don't know. It's like
Here's a good question for you then on that.
Okay.
Do you think server meshing will solve that? Because you're having multiple servers working at the same time in redundancy to keep track of your character. So if one says, hey, your foot was last seen here, and another says, no, actually, he's up in the air about Z index like higher, like over here outside of that. Do you think server meshing will help with that?
I think it was an actual probably purpose-built mechanic that just said like where were their feet last touching the ground, because maybe this effect is supposed to have more of a rising kind of like fire, right? It's going to have heat right above it. Even if you're not stepping in it, you're going to get burned.
You have far too much faith in World of Warcraft.
Hey, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Trying to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Oh man, no. There were so many things that did not make sense and were a certain way. As for the meshing question, I'm actually so thankful that the meshing was like postponed. Yeah. Because people asked me what I thought this live stream was going to be, and I told them it's either going to be like a 6 or it's going to be a 12. And what I mean, like out of 10. Because either it's going to be basically everything that we already know, and like they're going to do it in a certain way, and I would have been depressed coming onto this to talk about this if that was the case. I know. Or it would have been a 12. Now, I don't know what a 12 would look like, because like this would be like not only game changing, but this would be like the entire developing changing, like it would have blown everybody away. And I am a hopium person, and so I hope that things like the Riot MMO are good and actually come out eventually. I hope that, and like I hope for the 12th, right? But I have no idea what that could even look like. And I think that because Steven has said this for years and years, that this is going to be like, this is something that we are doing different. It is, new. So I would have loved it had been the 12, but I don't know if it would have been. And so I was so thankful that it was delayed, because I don't have to worry about it on the day of, and I can actually study it a little bit more. So
yeah, no, that's fair.
I would say that a 12, if talking about like server tech, would be something along the lines of we've signed a partnership with Star Citizen and we're going to be using the same system, except that I think they're having issues with that system and the server is syncing up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
So-
and also Jas. Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
So maybe that might add development time. But, so maybe it's not a 12.
Don't say these words.
Yeah, don't say these words.
Also, Jas, thank you. I didn't actually get into WoW too much like that. I was never like hardcore and like understood everything to that like level. Because even Ludolo says, from even the little bit I played of WoW, it definitely seemed that if an ability started casting onto you, it'd hit you. Because the game checked at the beginning of the cast if it would hit you rather than at the end of the cast, kind of thing. So that's where like the tracking of the feet would kind of overlap.
But it wasn't for all of them. It was only certain ones. And so like
Yeah, that's what made me think like that's a bug maybe.
Yes. And that's much more likely because they don't fix their game.
But I was gonna say, y'all don't even know. Tonight's podcast, it's Suspicious Pockets, but it was supposed to be Ace in the Pocket because I thought that was better.
It was gonna be server meshing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but no.
No, I tried to figure out a way to still use Ace in the Pocket, but I feel like Suspicious Pocket is a better one. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, can we share the thing that might make me go Vec?
Oh yeah, I'll need to pull it up. And hello there, Moonman. So hey, OFC. That's supposed to be, of course, or is that actually an initial for something?
Moonman of Creation. Because that's his YouTube name.
Okay.
You're so late, dude. So late.
Of course. Okay. I thought it was of course. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, is it Moonman of course? Sorry. I must be like way off base. Why do I have ads and can't see them? I don't know. I don't know why you got ads and don't see them, Brando.
Yes, Dark Mitten. No. Yes.
I forgot where I put it. Maybe it's in Ash's chat or did you find it?
Oh yeah, I know where it's at.
Okay.
I know where it's at.
I'm gonna copy the link and share everybody else. So this I saw today and I was like, Beck might have to be my alt, you guys.
Beck might have to be
my alt.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be saving it down, so it might take me a moment.
As someone who did a fair amount of parkour, there's a different forward momentum that yields max jumping height and max distance of a jump. I know people, I remember back, I don't know how long some of you have been here, but for those OGs, do you remember when people used to ask, especially when they showcase the ranger thing or the rogue thing, if there's gonna be parkour in Ashes, and they're like, no, and people are like, but that would have been so cool if there was parkour in Ashes. The point is, I've been counting down for like a week for you, and then spaced on the time. Oh no, hardcore parkour. Oh no. Hi, Dark Mitten. Hello. Steven's last statement from the
This is true.
live stream on the 3rd will be the Alpha 2 is live now. Oh, that would make, you know what? That would make so many people cry. Because think of it, all the people that have Alpha 1 access, if they're like, yeah, by the way, guys, Alpha 2 is open now, they'd be like, what about us? We didn't get to test.
Do you think they would care? Even if I was an Alpha 1 tester, I would not care.
Salty, but maybe not care because at least they have access to the Alpha like now.
Yeah.
But somebody else said a good point. They don't think that there's gonna be an Alpha 2 reveal until after like the end of July because they still have to show Bard, and Bard is supposed to be in Alpha 2 at the beginning, and we haven't seen it yet. Look, I'm just trying to temper expectations. Don't get too hype over here, guys. Don't get too hype.
Don't make too much sad.
We covered a couple of your things today. Specifically the node Metropolis Siege conversation. And thank you, Deathcon and Moonman, for the follows. Appreciate you.
Yes, welcome in.
Says, and while there's 0 differences in the jump when you press jump, it doesn't take into account anything other than character movement speed. Yeah. We discussed your thread. Yep. A2 equals August 2nd. Hey, Lloyd with the big brains. A2 August 2.
August 2nd. I still think it's going to be mid-September. That's when I think it,
Yeah, Jas, I'm not saying you're asking for parkour. That just reminded me of all the people that were asking for parkour back in the day. I know that some of the other platforms are a little behind. Hey, Chibi, I know this might be off topic. Just join. Can you share if the cleric had any OGCD abilities? Off global cooldown? I think.
Yes.
I think there, from what I can recall, I don't think there was a global cooldown. I feel like it was primarily like individual skill cooldown.
I actually have the answer to that. Does, like, because I've watched the cleric live stream several times, and they specifically say in there, because they're doing that held ability, and then they use like they're in the middle of doing the held ability, and then they do like another like quick one, so you can actually combo them, and they actually say that they have some abilities that are off global cooldown. So yes, you had some.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in that.
I don't know which ones they are. I have to go back and watch it, but yeah.
We were also given a limited amount of skills to choose from. One, on the skill tree itself, and two, because of the number of skill points we had to spend. So not everything on the wiki that you see was available to us during the time of testing. And I believe Fupo had mentioned that's also to limit the number of skills affecting Node Wars, to make sure that Node Wars was tested correctly. And also, Joss, I'm sorry, I'm not the right person to ask about the jump in Ashes. I didn't really pay that much attention to that. Of course, Fox.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't really pay too much attention to that either, but I think it's different from what I can recall.
I don't know, it just felt like I was jumping. Not helpful information at all, I'm sorry.
I can say, if nothing else, there's actually a sprint in Ashes.
There is. Mm-hmm.
So it's not just walk run, there's walk run sprint.
Toggleable sprint at that.
Yeah, toggleable sprint. So
I want my cleric spear throw. Yeah. Do we have it up? Sorry, I'm just over here jabbering.
Yeah, we have it up. I pulled up the other VEC images that we've had sitting around for a while first.
More man.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna add one spin to our board. I think we actually owe two spins total. Every 5 subscribers we get, we do a spin. And then we kind of collect them all, and then we do a bunch of spins together, which we still owe the Don't Laugh challenge, which we could probably do with Pawkets, because Pawkets I don't think has seen it yet. Unless Lloyd can correct me if I'm wrong. But I thought maybe this time it won't break OBS. We can do it together as we end.
Yeah.
Is it cast stuff is called off GCD, but there's no GCD in the game right now. Oh, okay. That was I think more so for me, because I didn't know what that was exactly. Gotta show love to Ashes streamers and creators. Aw, thank you. By the way, great job on the naval video. I'm not super into the naval content, so I didn't feel like I had anything valuable to add to that. But I really liked your deep dive on it. At least as of July 2023, and if I recall correctly, we've had no changes in to that combat. Yes, but the live stream for Cleric, they did use the phrasing GCD. Ah.
Yeah, I watched it because I was planning on being a cleric fighter.
You're planning on being a pirate? I'm just kidding, sorry.
Okay. I was also trying to read at the same time. No,
confusion is all fighter. I heard.
I might be on the boat, but we're gonna see. Yeah.
Okay.
they said it during. Wait, hold on. I plan to. Wait, what is that? Oh, no. Oh shoot. What time are you guys doing your guild thing tomorrow morning?
We have 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific, and then the second one is 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
So normally I do mine 9 to 12, but I will definitely be going to your guys' guild thing. So I'll probably do tomorrow 9 to 11 Central Time. Because I do want to go to the guild thing, and I want to, because Suspect will be there in the morning, correct?
I believe
have
so.
to pull up the thing that I put out there, but I think.
I think so. So like, yeah, and you guys, you said 12 your time?
Suspect is on the evening one, actually, 8 p.m.
Okay. I still want to be there anyway, so I'll end mine early.
You're so sweet.
Vox stream will be tomorrow morning, 9.
I have no water, but I'll cheers this
Central.
way.
All day AOC content. Yes.
Yes.
So the picture that's up, this is what you want, Chibi?
That's the thing that made me want to become a Vec, yes.
And I made this for you? Come on. Like,
no. My alt.
Oh, okay.
My alt.
That's going to be her ninja healer.
Yeah, that one I told Vertec I want to make that my cleric rogue. Or my rogue cleric, whichever one I like more. But no, that one, the one that you made the mask of, that is my original created D&D character who's supposed to be a druid. There's no druids in Ashes, but there are pyre. So I turned her into a pyre, and that's my main, because that's what I am one with the earth.
I will be honest with you guys. When I first saw your guys' content, I did not realize that you guys are supposed to be a Vec and a pyre. I thought it was just like VTuber stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, okay. And then like I was like, wait, those are whatever they're called, antlers, branchlers, yeah.
Branchlers,
and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I really enjoy making these masks for you guys. So,
oh, thank you.
Well, I love how they look, so we're all super happy, because that's not something I expected anyone to have made. And as soon as you were like, check this thing
really
out.
Awesome.
I was trying to figure out a good way to kind of enter it in as well, because I didn't know. I didn't want to, like, you guys had no suspicions of it at all. I actually had a suspicious pocket.
You are a suspicious
pocket.
Are
a suspicious pocket.
Yep. Yeah.
How much time do we have left?
Honestly,
should probably actually start wrapping up here soon.
Wrapping up. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say really quick, because like the last thing we were going to talk about was expansions, and there was a really interesting idea that I like, and people that read it said, Pockets, you just want to see the world burn, and I kind of agree with this. I think all of their games, their expansions entail growing the world. I think it'd be really interesting if, like, and forgive me all you WoW players for saying this, but some cataclysmic event happened. I would love to see some of the land disappear, and then all these people that have been in this huge massive world have less land to fight over, and have it like wake up like all of the node events and everything like that, like have like something come through like a huge dragon or something, and like actually take land away and force people to fight before the expansion. I think that'd be really kind of interesting to just definitely throw off the feel of things, but I don't know how it would be done. But I thought that'd be a really cool idea.
That's something, we had talked about an idea similar to that before, and also it came up during a conversation where we were talking about win conditions and loss conditions, and if the server had a loss condition where the corruption would take over and wipe everything out if you didn't fight it back enough. And then you'd have to come back to basically a fresh server because you lost everything.
Oh no. No.
And because that also came up as a way to introduce server merges.
I actually like that.
Like if corruption wins,
some people would be really pissed they lost all their stuff, but I like that idea.
Should have fought harder.
Server-wide mayhem.
You let the corruption go
over again.
And imagine you being the first server to find that condition.
Oh.
And everybody else is like, oh, let's go get the corruption right
let's
now.
Let's go ahead and take care of that, guys. Who's got a broom?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because like what happens if you don't keep the corruption in check?
People get content, and Steven says, find out.
You know what? I'm mad at myself, but I just thought of another reason why you would get corruption outside of PvP.
Why?
Being in the corrupted zones for too long.
Yeah, that could be a thing too.
Infected with corruption.
Oh, that leads to more bounty hunters being able to find you.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, as a PvE player, I will not be fighting back any corruption, and I'm sad to tell you, because that will mean that, yep, there you go, exactly what Lord Lloyd just said. Another thing to kill PvE players.
Well,
Thank
with
you guys
that,
for having me on.
you're welcome. With that bombshell being dropped, Pockets, is there anything that you would like to tell people? Anything you want them to tune in or come find you, or things you want them to know about you?
I would just say, if you guys want to watch some Ashes content early morning Saturdays, I'll be doing that. And one thing that I actually like about this is that I'm able to do it even when the school year starts. Trying to find a stream time that works really well for when I'm on summer break and when I go back to school is really kind of hard. And so even after school starts, I plan on keep doing the Saturday morning copiums. So that would be a cool thing. That if you are interested and want to wake up in the Saturday morning, get your coffee, join me, that'd be great.
With your mug?
Yeah.
All right, so you're mentioning one word that I love and a couple other words that I'm absolutely allergic to. I love me some coffee, but mornings, I'm so allergic to mornings. I break out in grumpies.
I also see, is there no one else in Nice?
Yeah, so we have Vladis, we have Nice and no one. I don't know who all Nikawa is supposed to be for rating. I'm sorry. But I figured I'd get that out there. And Vaksham, I'm not sure about a tiny bit of lore leak on that during the entire course. I feel like I heard something like that.
Yeah, there was something about like corruption growing and things happening involved with corruption and stuff. Yeah. Over
there being a troll box. For shame. For those of you watching on YouTube later, I should have, if you don't have the timestamps now, you should have them soon-ish. And for those of you, by the way, watching this later on our Spotify playlist, because we did get back into doing that again, you can now take us and listen to us anywhere you want on Spotify, because I had to make a new playlist because I couldn't remember how to do the other playlist, and it's a different kind of playlist anyway. Now you have video.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, we're having actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of a blurb for ourselves. We're having 2 guild summits tomorrow, Group A and Group B, Group 1 and 2, at 12 p.m. Eastern for Group 1, 8 p.m. Eastern for Group 2. On Sunday, Vertec is going to be on Zillin's stream. Monday, we've got our meat quest. Tuesday, we've got our tavern talk. Wednesday, Vertec and I are joining Vladis. We have a busy week next week.
It's going to be
no stream, no podcast next Friday. Instead, our guest will be joining us on 4 p.m. Saturday next week. So, yeah, got a lot going on this next week. So we hope you'll join us.
Absolutely. Please do join tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And
yes.
If you have any questions about guilds, and if you're looking to join a guild for Ashes of Creation, it'd be a great time to do it.
Yep, and this would be a great place to come and bring your questions and ask them anything that you would like to know. And we're actually setting up a system. I think Vertec and I might be going live again for a test on YouTube in a second, so you can just ignore us. We're just testing stuff, just because we're...
Yeah, at least after the stream at some point tonight. Maybe not right away, because I have hunger.
Not right away.
Food.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. But if you guys didn't notice, there is a new thing that says submit my question, and you can submit your question and the bot will grab it. And then when we close that off, I can just highlight all the questions, drop it into a straw poll, and boom, there's a poll for you guys to choose which question you would like. I know, hunger in the tavern. We've been talking for too much. We gotta get back in the kitchen.
You guys are so good at like this whole like setup and like your planning and your systematic. I love it. It's great. I'm not that kind of person, but I love it when people are. So like I'm impressed with you guys. Good job.
Well, thanks.
Well, thank you.
That.
Hey, if anybody would like to guide the raid, by the way, between Vladis, just so we can stick inside the Ashes category, we'll say Vladis, or Nice, or no one else. If you don't pick somebody by the time I get to it, you picked it. That's your pick?
No, like making the joke. No one else. There's no one else.
Yeah, no one else. If not, when we go to raid, I will roll a d3, and actually looks like people are naming it.
We have 3 votes for Vlad, so
1, 2,
I will
3,
get
right
the
in a
raid
row.
going for Vladis.
There wasn't even a break in the middle. Oh my goodness.
No, there wasn't.
That's an absolute
Vladis.
unanimous vote right there.
Gaming.
But none of them spent their points.
That's okay.
And no one spent the points. My goodness.
Whoever spends the guide the raid, they have the final say.
But
It's in the plumes. Oh, but it's already gone. Let's
It's
go.
Vulgad.
But there we go.
All right.
Let's
Thank
go
you,
right
guys.
over to Vlad. He's been doing pretty good. And Pawkets, thank you so much for being our guest. It's been awesome chatting with you. So thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody in chat, thank you for hanging out with us in all the places there. Rodney, I saw you over there. You said, hey, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody else, thank you again.
Thank you.
As always, time is the most valuable commodity that you have. It's the most valuable thing you have that you can give to somebody else. You gave it to us, and we will treasure it in our little money boxes in the back. We'll never give it away.
And if you liked the stream, please consider giving us a like, a follow, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get notifications for when we post or go live next.
Yep. Join memberships and everything everywhere. Do all the things everywhere. Poor Flavor.
We do now have YouTube memberships available to you as well.
But until we see you next time, please do take care. Have yourselves a great day. And bye-bye.
And cheers to Ashes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheers.